It's Monday morning, everyone. We're late again. This is Clutch Crypto and Trading Bros and Coffee. I'm your host, and it is 8:36 Central Standard Time, and looks like we are going down. Let's jump to the charts and see what's going on.
So we're back here on the daily as we always are. 2780 just
Oh,
came
hold
in.
on. There we go.
Can you see me?
Yeah, you good now.
And folks, we are where we thought we would be, which is further down the pipeline. And so we're on this downtrend. We've hit this channel. We kind of played with this channel. It's just a matter of whether or not this channel holds and move back up to the upside, or whether or not we break down into hitting these vectors here on the downside. We kind of touch one here, but there are some here, and this red line here would be my support line for this move to the downside. And then, of course, as we know about support lines, when people put their trades here, they're probably going to come under there and get those stops. We also have these imbalances here and here. So, my next expectation of where price is going to go, maybe not this week, maybe so, is this 2300 mark here, 23.7, 2400. If we're talking about this week, we just had markets futures open. Man, that box looks a lot closer on this chart, right? We've had the futures open. And so last night, if we just cover what happened with Sydney, we pumped up in Sydney, we pumped up in the EU Brinks brought things back. And so here we are back at the daily open, expecting, probably, I would say, a gap up for the market in the beginning, and then probably come down for maybe a false move. And then Tuesday, maybe come up Wednesday, and then back down by the end of the week. Who knows? But that's kind of my thought process, there. But we do see kind of a volume changing candle here, which could promote us to move to the upside if we go to lower time frames. Again, we keep flirting with this trend line, and this doesn't look good as far as a wick that we have to come back after as far as going to the downside. But as you can see, we kind of moved up above this, so took out any shorts, folks that were short that were coming in this area. It's looking to range and take those out as well. But with this wick to the downside, any moves that come up, we are at the daily open too. The daily opens at 28.24. We reach up to the daily. I think we already reached up to that daily open, which was that.
We came up, tested it, yeah.
That came up and tested it, and then we kind of rejected off of that. But this wick here we consider
That
to
was
be
a heck of a wick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is on the 14-minute too, but this, then we have the pivot point here as well. So as you know, we can pivot off of this pivot point and go back up, reason why it's called pivot point, or we could break back through first time. I mean, it's already hit once and pivoted. I would expect it to kind of break through this amount. But again, we could pump up for another little fake, test the shorts, take out the shorts, build some longs, but really doesn't look like it's doing too much at this point. We've had a little bit of a vector, but nothing significant. If we go to open interest, I just refreshed this not too long ago, 6.4 billion. We're at 7.2 billion last week. And so what this tells me is that there's liquidity that's leaving the market. We're continuing to the downside, took about $1 billion out of the market. And it also tells me that most of the liquidity is long, because on the moves to the upside, when we liquidated shorts, OI really didn't change that much. But when we move to the downside and liquidate on the longs, OI changes a bit, which tells me that we're still, net long overall, which is, good for people that are in shorts. If we look at the market, the funding rate, just kind of the sentiment is what we use this for. It's pretty mixed across the board. So we'll just have to see how it goes. It's a Monday. Don't recommend doing too much on a Monday, but it is a Monday. If we look at, we're starting a new month, so we did get a new monthly close, which we can look at if you like. But we've got Monday, May 2nd. We've got S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI. I think that's an important number. Construction spending, job. This is a busy week for news, as we can see. And so we would expect some volatility this week. I mean, I don't see anything that's huge, even though we've got some FOMC statement on Wednesday. So depending on how hawkish or dovish this information is, will tell you whether, kind of what what international, what the market responds to. We got a lot of data that comes out this week. So Wednesday, May 4th should be an interesting to see how we react to the FOMC statement. So I would look to Wednesday afternoons and Thursday morning at some volatility coming into the market. If we are to just look at the market, see what we're doing today, we had a big sell-off, on Friday. And so I would expect us to recover somewhat today. But just looking at the market now, we're relatively flat, even though this was down 100. I mean, I think we were down almost 854 points in the futures. So on the Dow side, so this moving down is not a surprise. But we also got BTC and ETH flat, and so I think what the environment is, I think people are trying to get folks to realize that that crypto is not hedged, not correlated with the market, because it didn't drop as much as the Dow and everything else dropped. And so that might be a big deal. Or it could drop today. It could be late. It could be a leading aggregate. So that's all I got on my end relative to the charts. Let's see
what we got.
And
I need controls.
Yeah, we kind of could go for it now.
Let's do it. High Block Capital. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Wow, miracles happen every day.
It knows we're running late.
Okay, guys, this is ETH Finance chart on High Block Capital, something we look at every day. As you can see, we're just kind of in here in the middle of the range right here, filling up the liquidation profiles. We have a few right underneath us, 27.93, and then we have a big guy up here that we still haven't got. That's going to be 29.35. So he's not too far ahead of us, but it does look like we might be trying to get some momentum to go up. So pay attention when we get close to 28.66. See if we break that peak. If we break a new higher peak, expect some higher highs. And then we have a low area down there, 27.28. If we break that area, expect some lower lows. Those are critical areas. I do think we'll probably come up here and try to get this liquidation at this 29.35 for sure. And then the other peak that we have up here is in the 29.72 range. So pay real close attention to those guys. As we go throughout the day and possibly into tomorrow. And this is this is Bookmap here, our order book. As you can see, we are heavily weighted up here to the upside right now. Kind of just chopping through these orders right here. We have a big order wall right here, 2,700. CBD did come through here. It did flip. It's working its way back up from, to get closer back to zero. So that's also a good sign that we might see some potential upside movement. But as you can see, these are heavy volume areas that we're in right now. So don't really expect a super fast movement through these areas. I think we're going to just slowly range up and go through here. Similar to a lot of stuff we saw last week, because you see this point from here to here is not near as clustered as everything else. So what they're going to want to do is just range in here, get these gaps filled, and start trapping a bunch of traders. So I think today's probably going to be more of a rangy day. There were also a lot of guys that were closed. You have Japan's not open for another 82 hours. China's not open for another 59 hours. And there were quite a few. Hong Kong was closed today. There's quite a few markets that weren't open for this week's Monday. So I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of price action. I think most of the price action that we probably are going to see may have already happened. You know, we wicked down here, we wicked up here. I think we're going to see some choppiness going into the rest of the day. But overall, possibly, I mean, we don't really have, you know, any limit orders per se out here on the books right now. So everything points to the downside, but we are trying to struggle our way to the upside, if that makes any sense. And again, I think that's just the nature of the market for today, because we're going to see a lot of just ranging today. So be careful on your trades. Pay attention to those areas that we talked about, new lower lows or new higher highs, and expect price direction and probably follow in sync with that. So that's all I got as well. Anything else you'd like to add for the day?
No, I think we covered it pretty much. I mean, doesn't look like there's anything that's too definitive. You know, that volume to the downside could be spoofed. So we'll see how it goes. Today will be the setup for the rest of the week, the rest of the month, really. First day of the month for the trading day. So first trading day for the month. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time.